Hi, welcome to There's Hope. I'm Kayla. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Ashley.
I will be your social worker for the next 3 months. I understand that the judge required you to come here for therapy. I already read your file, but I would like to hear your story. Will you describe me what happened?
Yes, well, I was home like last Friday and my child kept crying, and so I kind of was feeling a little stressed, so I decided to go in a corner and, sniff cocaine. And I know my neighbors, she had been knocking on my door all day, and so I kind of told her to shut up and leave me alone. And next thing I know, the police came in and they found me, and they found my child crying in the corner with no diapers on. And so they took him away, and then the next couple of days I ended up going to court, and they told me that I needed to do 90 days of therapy, and then from there they'll see if I'm able to be fit enough to get my son back.
I see. So you're saying is that you were using cocaine, and your neighbor might have called the police, and the police found you with your son, and your son had no diapers on. Is that correct?
Yes. I mean, I was going to change his diaper, but it was just I just needed a moment, and I seriously think she called. So yeah.
How do you feel about that situation?
It makes me angry because I know I'm a good mom, and just the fact that she would be nosy enough to want to bang on my door and check, okay, he had on no diapers, I understand, but it was going to be changed. So I'm just really, really angry about it.
You're angry. You have some disappointment in your neighbor because she was nosy and being into your business.
Yes, that's how I see it pretty much.
So who's with your son? Who is your son now?
As of right now, he's with my mother, and until further notice, I guess, if I can get him back or not, he'll be staying with her. How does
it feel that you know that your son's with your mother?
It's relief because he's not in a group home or anything, but I don't really talk to her that much either, so it's kind of really, because I don't really go by the house, so it's kind of upsetting in a sense.
So you're saying because of your lack of a better relationship with your mother, you feel a little unease with your son being with her?
Yes.
I see. So tell me more about your struggle with cocaine. Do you believe that you have a cocaine abuse?
I mean, no, because I use from time to time. It's not I do it every single day, but to others, I guess it may seem like a struggle, but to me, I just see it as, sometimes I need a little pick-me-up. So.
Well, when was the last time you used?
The Friday that it was picked up a couple of days ago when they kind of found me there.
Okay. Tell me when the first time you started to use drugs.
I started to use drugs when I turned 16 after, my father had left us. So after that, I guess got with the wrong crowd, so what my mother says, and from then I've just been using up until now.
Okay, so you're saying that when the first time you ever used drugs was when your father left?
Yes.
Okay. And how were you with your father?
It was a really good relationship. I was a daddy's girl, so we used to go to the park a lot, and then he'd buy me ice cream, he'd pick me up from school and stuff. We'd go out on camping trips, and then now it's just he just left. So
that must have been a really hard experience to deal with at a young age, losing your father.
It was. It's still a little hurt, but I don't know what else to say about it.
I understand. Do you think your cocaine use has become an issue?
At this point, yes, since I don't have my son anymore.
So, and have you had any attempts at resolving or quitting using cocaine?
I stopped when I got pregnant with Isaiah, and I found out. I stopped, and then after his father left, then again I began.
Okay. So tell me more about your son.
Well, Isaiah is 2. you know, he goes to school, like preschool and stuff, like little kindergarten. And like, he's a really big part of my life. I really love him, and I really just want to get him back. Yeah.
You seem like a really strong, you know, you came here, you're here, and you're willing to, you know, go beyond, you know, helping your cocaine abuse and ultimately gaining custody of your son back. It takes a lot of strength and effort.
Yeah.
So tell me more about your relationship with your mother.
The first time I began using, you know, she kind of kicked me out and didn't want to talk. And then when I got pregnant with Isaiah and I came back, she told me I can come back if I would, like, you know, stop. And for the sake of him and for myself, I stopped. And, you know, we were together for a while. And then when me and his father decided to move in together, she was kind of against it, but, you know, she allowed it. We're still on speaking terms. But then when I started again, she kept, like, threatening that she would take him away from me if I didn't stop, and like I kept trying to tell her I wasn't. I was kind of lying to her, just so she wouldn't take my son. But then from then on, it's just our relationship has never been the same.
So you're saying is that your mom disapproved your father's son, your son's father, as well as your cocaine abuse.
Yes.
So there's a couple issues that I've recognized is your cocaine abuse is number one, and another issue is you've lost your son because of that. How does it sound with the next 3 months? We can work on, you know, becoming abstinent from all drugs in order to get your son back, you know, as well as we'll reflect some, you know, goals in order to have that, you know, happen within those 3 months. Does that sound good?
It sounds good.
So specifically, how do you know when your cocaine abuse will be resolved?
How do I know when it will be resolved?
Yeah, when the issue of your cocaine, like when you don't have an issue with it, what does it look like when you don't?
Oh, when I don't use it at all? I mean, some days can be pretty good, and then other days it's just like I get really aggravated quickly, and I just want everything to just be okay and smooth, so I just use.
So you're saying is that, you know, when you're stressed out or frustrated, you have a stronger desire to use cocaine?
Yes.
Have you ever attempted any other situations where you can cope with frustration or stress?
No, but I remember when I was younger, my father used to have us put like all my feelings in a little box, and then, you know, at the end of the week we would burn them to kind of make it seem like we can erase the past and just move forward. Okay.
So what I've been hearing is that you started first when your father left, and then you tried to quit, or you did quit when your son was born, and then once your son's father left, you started up again?
Yes.
Could maybe you have some issues with abandonment?
That can be the case. I don't see why not.
Would you like to discuss that issue further in the next 3 months?
Yes. Okay.
So I'm going to jot that down for the next session. So I would like to discuss the main issue, which is your drug abuse, and I would like to establish some goals. How does this sound? Within the next 3 months, I would like for you to attend a self-help group at least 3 times a week for an hour, as well as avoid some situations and places that will trigger your desire to use in the next 3 months, as well as engage in at least 2 activities that will influence your sobriety. What do you think about that?
That sounds pretty good.
Do you think you'll be able to attend some self-help groups?
I'm not quite sure exactly what will be going on in these self groups. Could you explain that a little bit further?
Well, there are some, NA meetings, AA meetings, which are Narcotics Anonymous or Alcoholics Anonymous. and it's about an hour long. There's local ones near where you stay, and it basically goes. They have literature. They have a book that they read, and there usually is a speaker that comes in and will discuss their struggle, their story, how many months of sobriety they have. They will tell the group, what they've done to remain sober and, help with their triggers and, avoid relapses. Many of my clients have gone and it has been effective towards them. I would like if you could do, once a day, but I know that it's hard, being, a single mom and, working, but I think a good goal would be at first to do at least 3 times a week. There's also some self-help groups at churches that you can attend to. What does that sound like to you?
That sounds pretty good to me.
Okay. So the first step we'll do is the meeting. You'll be here in a week from today. I would like to at least go to a couple meetings if you can, as well as you'll randomly get drug tested. So hopefully, you'll be able to provide a clean drug test. Do you think that will be possible?
Yes, it should.
Okay. As well as you can engage in some activities that will help you, stay away from cocaine. You can go to the gym. You can take a walk in the park. I know going to see your son, may, influence your will to stay sober. Does that sound good?
That sounds good.
Okay. So do you have any questions to ask for me?
Not at the moment, but our next visit I'll probably have more.
Okay. So I want to go back to your goals, and I would like to know what you see yourself in 3 months.
In 3 months, I'd like to see myself having my son, being a little bit more happy, and just being able to provide for him, maybe go back to school, probably find a better place of living, and just overall just be happy and not using cocaine anymore.
Those sound like a lot of good goals that you have for the next 3 months. I hear you want to have your son back. You want to be a lot more happier than you are now, as well as you want to continue getting your education. That sounds like a really good plan to have in the next 3 months, or when you get there. Discuss more about your plans for education.
I'd like to do something like medical assistant. I heard that it's like a year or 2, or maybe even a couple of months. So I'd like to do that just so I could be able to provide for him and for myself as well. And also just be able to move and things.
So what I'm saying is that, what I hear you saying is that you want to do something with the medical field?
Yes.
You feel like you can be able to provide better environment for your son as well as for you?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me, how do you feel like you're going to get there?
I guess after I'm done being a lot more sober and clean, I feel like maybe with a little bit more research and help and actually doing it instead of just talking about it, I could be able to accomplish what I want and be able to do it for my son, because he's basically my main motivation.
It seems like your son is a big part of your life, and you seem really determined to provide a better, life for him.
Yes, I do. I can be a good mom, and I know that I am to him. So I just want to be able to prove it to him and to myself and to everyone else as well.
That's a really good thing to know, to know that you are a good mom, and to have that confidence within you. I see it just shines out of you. I mean, if your son's everything. I mean, I've never had kids, but I can only imagine what having a child, and then losing him. And, it's admirable that you're actually here. You want to take the steps to get him back, as well as provide a better life for him. That sounds really good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So the next session we'll just continue talking about the goals we've established, as well as how you're feeling and about the situation, and anything about do you have anything else to add?
No, that's it for right now.
All right, so I will see you next week. Have a great day and nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.
Bye.